Hello, Fabric community. This is the June edition of the Fabric Monthly Update. I am Jason Himmelstein, Principal PM Manager for Content Strategy in Microsoft Fabric. For more details about all the things we're going to talk about today, check out the Monthly Update blog. The link is in the video description down below. Let's go ahead and get into it. Power BI reporting. Visual Calcs update in preview. You've asked and we have delivered. Scatter plots are now supported within Visual Calcs. This means you can now add a visual calc to a scatter plot. Please note that the play axis is not yet supported. We've added a highlight to the visual matrix to indicate which visual calc you are editing. We plan to rely on the visual matrix to make working with visual calcs even easier in the future. This highlight is just the first step in our plans. To top it off for this month in the Power BI reporting section, we're adding a new visual calc exclusive function called Lookup. Lookup makes it easy to find values in the visual matrix by specifying which value you want to use as a filter on any axis of the visual matrix. Anything that is not explicitly specified is inferred for context. For example, let's say you have a visual matrix that shows sales per color. The new Power BI Home and Power BI Desktop is now generally available. Introduced last February, this update brings new functionalities that makes it easier for users to create reports. With data sources directly accessible from the home screen, enhanced digital discoverability features like the recommendation sections, and the quick access list, getting started is simpler than ever. Power BI modeling. We are thrilled to announce that you can finally download your large semantic models to Power BI Desktop as a PBIX file. This unblocks the end-to-end authoring experience in Power BI Desktop for large semantic models. Dive into our documentation and discover more about this highly anticipated feature, including its capabilities and limitations. New info functions are now available in June of 2024. All info functions are DAX function versions of the existing Analysis Services Dynamic Management Views, or DMVs. All info functions can now take optional input parameters. As DMVs, these optional input parameters are called restrictions. For all info functions, this includes their columns, but some have additional restrictions. Info.calc dependencies can specify query as one of its restrictions, or optional input parameters, allowing you to analyze the items in the semantic model needed for that DAX query. This is very helpful when analyzing what is being used by the semantic model in a DAX query for a visual in the report. Power BI Mobile. We strive to make the Power BI mobile app as accessible as possible for everyone. That's why in this month's update, we've added Show Visuals as Table as a view mode to all reports. Use this feature to instantly view all the visuals, excluding slicers, cards, and non-data-driven visuals, in your report as table visuals. This feature enhances the consumption experience for users who rely on screen readers by allowing them to read the underlying data presented in each visual. It's also beneficial for users who prefer to consume their data in tabular form, which is more like the consumption experience in Excel. Power BI developers. We're very excited to announce the Power BI Enhanced Report Format PBIR for Power BI Project Files, PBIP. This marks a significant milestone in achieving the primary goal of Power BI Desktop Developer Mode, which is to provide source control-friendly file formats that unblocks co-development and enhances development efficiency. Power BI Projects, PBIP, now support saving the report and semantic model into a folder using source control-friendly formats, and PBIR for the file format for a report, and TMDL, TMDL, for the semantic model. Next up, let's check out a demo by Rui Romano on the Power BI Enhanced Report format.
Power BI Developer Mode allows you to save your Power BI developments into a folder with metadata text files. One of its promises and pillars is to deliver a good source control and co-development experience. To achieve that goal, it's very important to have source control friendly file formats that not only will let you easily track and understand all your changes, but also minimize the occurrence of complex merge diffs while working with others. Back in February, we made a big step in that direction by bringing the tabular model definition language, TMDL, into Power BI Desktop, saving your semantic model metadata as a folder with a TMDL document for each table, perspective, culture, and more. not only was a big improvement for source control, but also for professional semantic model development using the Tyndall language with Visual Studio Code. And this month, I'm very excited to announce the Power BI Enhanced Report format, also known as PBIR, which is a very important milestone for the Power BI team because it's the first time ever we are making public with documentation our report format. Not only it will provide a great source control and co-development experience, because each visual page bookmark will have its own properly formatted JSON file with a JSON schema that will also allow you to understand what each property means, unblocking a ton new set of opportunities to enhance your report development efficiency, like applying batch edits or easily reuse report objects like visuals and bookmarks between reports. Let's go for a demo. So PBIR is in public preview, and if you enable the preview feature, now when saving as a Power BI project, instead of a single report.json file, you will have a definition folder using the PBIR format. You can easily navigate to that folder using the title flyout. Let's open the definition folder with Visual Studio Code and notice that now the JSON is properly formatted and the report definition is split into multiple files, where each visual has its own individual file, which is very convenient for version control, but also co-development. And on each file, you will encounter a JSON schema. Not only will that conveniently describe each property meaning with a simple mouse over, but it will also provide syntax validation if you end-author the file, and you will also get IntelliSense if you want to create a new property. With PBIR, it's now better than ever to granularly track all your report changes. Let's make a few changes in our report and look at the diffs using VS Code and Git. Let's save the report, navigate to the PBIP folder, and open the folder in VS Code to look at the changes. Clicking on the Source Control tab, we can now see two diffs on two visuals and understand what have changed. One visual changed its type, and another visual changed its background color. A big goal of PBIR is to improve efficiency and reusability. And an example of that is the support of simple copy and paste of files between reports. For example, you can now easily reuse pages and bookmarks from other reports, something you cannot do using the UI. This report has a slicer configuration I want to reuse in my report. If I save it as a PBIP using PBIR, I can navigate to its PBIR folder definition and copy the bookmark files from the definition folder of this report to the definition folder of the report I'm developing. And repeat the process for the page that has the slicer pane. Because I'm changing files externally, I must restart Power BI Desktop and reopen the PBIP for those changes to be reflected in my report. And I can confirm that the new page is there, with the slicer panel and the bookmark configuration working fine. And of course, because the semantic model is different, the visuals of the page are going to be in error. But I can easily fix that by changing the configured field on each visual, and in this case on each slicer. And this is it. The main takeaways are that now with the PBIR and developer mode, we finally have a public and documented report format, a good source control and co-development experience, and also new ways to improve our efficiency working with Power BI reports.
Power BI visualizations. We have new visuals in AppSource this month. Check out the monthly blog update for a more in-depth look at these visuals. Word Cloud by PowerViz, Drill Down Timeline Pro by Zoom Charts, Attribute Control Chart by Nova Silva. Download button by JTA. Power BI Paginated Reports. You can now open reports that are in folders and subfolders from Power BI Report Builder. These reports may reside in folders and subfolders in workspaces that the user has access to. You can also publish paginated reports to folders and subfolders that you have access to in the Power BI and Fabric service. Fabric service. Master data. Public preview. This feature allows IT and data teams to define and endorse the single source of truth for the organization's data. Users can easily find and use master data items that store data in various platforms. Master data items are marked with a special endorsement stage. OneLake. External Data Sharing Public API. In addition to the public preview of external data sharing announced last month, we are now proud to announce the public preview of APIs for external data sharing in OneLake. Users can now scale their data sharing use cases by automating the creation of shares with the public API. Data Warehouse. Query Activity, a one-stop view to monitor your running and completed SQL queries. Introducing two new features for Data Warehouse users, Query Activity and Warehouse Restoration. Query Activity allows workspace admins to monitor and manage SQL queries from their Data Warehouse or Lakehouse SQL Analytics endpoint without running any SQL code. Warehouse Restoration enables users to restore data warehouses from system-generated or user-defined restore points using Fabric Warehouse Editor. Brainstorm questions with Copilot for Data Warehouse. We announced Copilot for Data Warehouse at Build last month. Following up on this announcement, we are excited to announce the ability to brainstorm questions with Copilot for Data Warehouse. Developers and analysts can now leverage Copilot to help brainstorm different data points and trends that are personalized to your warehouse's schema and metadata. Click the Ask Questions button or ask Copilot to suggest questions to ask to get started. Mirroring Azure SQL databases. We have added more SQL Dynamic Definition Language (DDL) support for tables being mirrored. You can now perform alter tables, alter columns, and change from one data type to another supported data type. Now let's see a demo of Fabric Data Warehouse around mirroring Azure SQL database.
We are now looking at the database. We have the product table. We've added a column for rating. Of type TinyInt. And we notice that most of the products have a rating. We now see the same product table already mirrored here. We notice that we have the column rating with most of the values. We wish to see more granular product ratings, so we now want to update the rating column to go decimal numbers, and we'll update the data type to be decimal. Type decimal. Rating 8.5. We will now view the same update in the mirrored database. We now see that the rating column type has been updated to full decimal points, and we see a rating of 8.5.
Data Engineering. Spark Connector for Fabric Data Warehouse. The Spark Connector for Fabric Data Warehouse, or DW, in Spark Runtime is now available. This connector will empower a Spark developer or data scientist to access and work on data from Fabric DW and the SQL Analytics endpoint of Lakehouse, either from within the same workspace or across workspaces, with a simplified Spark API. It hides the underlying complexity involved, automatically discovers the SQL endpoint based on the context of the specified Lakehouse warehouse, and literally works with just one line of code. Notebook column resizing on display table view. We're excited to inform you that the built-in rich data frame table view on Notebook now supports column resizing. You're welcome to use the display or df command to explore your data and try out the new column resizing experience. We are hearing you. Feel free to share more suggestions like this one through the feedback channel. We would love to further improve the experience based upon your feedback. Notebook Pane Switcher. We recently introduced the Pane Switcher on Notebook, which is a new interactive component to manage your open panes. With the Pane Switcher, you can open and use multiple panes at once without worrying about them taking up extra notebook canvas space. It can help you focus on programming while leveraging the rich functions a Fabric Notebook provides, such as Copilot, Browse Code Snippet, Find and Replace, Comment, etc. You can also easily navigate among each pane embedded in the pane switcher and close them one by one. Lakehouse Schemas in public preview. A new way to organize your tables. Lakehouse Schemas will be available for public preview on June 28th. It is a new feature that allows you to group and manage your tables in logical namespaces. With Lakehouse Schemas, you can organize your tables into categories, such as business domains, projects, or teams. You can reference multiple tables at once using schema shortcuts instead of shortcutting each table individually. Apply security policies to schemas for more granular access control, such as granting or revoking permissions to a group of tables at once. You can also cross-reference and join tables from different workspaces using Spark SQL without having to copy or move data. Real-time intelligence. Effortlessly pin query results to your dashboard. Streamline analytics and collaboration. Introducing the ability to run queries in a KQL dataset and pin the results directly to your real-time dashboard, whether on a new one or an existing one. This functionality streamlines the insights analysis process, allowing you to quickly transform raw data into actionable insights. By pinning query results, you can effortlessly build and share comprehensive dashboards with your team, enhancing collaboration and decision-making. Unleashing the power of graph semantics in Event House. We are thrilled to announce the general availability of the graph semantics in Event House. This groundbreaking feature allows users to model their data as graphs and perform advanced graph queries and analytics using Kusto Query Language or KQL. With support for various graph types, such as directed, undirected, weighted, and labeled graphs, the Graph Semantics extension provides a comprehensive set of graph operators and functions to help users gain deeper insights into complex data sets. Data Factory. Dataflow's Gen 2 certified connector updates. We are pleased to announce the new and updated connectors in this release. For updates, we have BitSite security ratings, Supermetrics, Walter Wooler CCH Tagatic, Leap, MongoDB Atlas SQL, Denodo, Zendesk Data, and a new connector for InterSystems Health Insight. Data Pipeline. Use Data Pipeline to read and write to Lakehouse tables with schema information, now in public preview. Together with the release of the Lakehouse Schemas feature, available for public preview on June 28th, Data Pipeline will now support reading the schema info from Lakehouse tables and will support writing data into tables under specified schemas. New connectors available in the data pipeline. We're excited to share that more connectors are now available for data pipelines. Azure AI Search, Azure Cosmos DB API for MongoDB, Azure Files, Dynamics AX, Google BigQuery, MySQL, and Oracle are all now available for data pipelines. Move data across workspaces via Data Pipeline Modern Get Data Experience. Native capability that allows you to more easily move data among lakehouses, warehouses, etc. across different workspaces is now available. You can intuitively select Fabric Lakehouse, Warehouse, or another workspace under the Explore feature on the left-hand side of the OneLake Data Hub in Pipeline Modern Get Data. It also lets you filter by artifacts. You can also select your destination from existing lakehouses or warehouses across various workspaces, or easily create a new workspace. Support to create a new warehouse as a destination in Data Pipeline. You can now create a new warehouse as a destination in Data Pipeline instead of only selecting an existing one. This feature allows you to load your source data into a warehouse more easily and intuitively. You can easily create a new warehouse as your destination in the Choose Data Destination step of Data Pipeline Copy Assistant. You can find the option in the New Fabric Name section of the homepage or in the New Fabric Name page. Well, that's a wrap for this month. Please visit our Fabric community forums at aka.ms/Fabric community. It's the best place for you to connect with others and get answers to your questions. And please, tell us how we can do this better. We are listening. Like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next month.